Well, hello, and finally am I doing this kind of video, which I had in mind of for a very long time, which is the case with a lot of videos actually. Oh yes, and I have this boy with me today as well. This boy, I have just brewed me a cup of tea. I got a new teapot, but yeah, I preferred my old one, but we'll see. Because this one, it doesn't look like it actually fits much water. Anyways, whilst that's brewing, I shall begin to delve into my own book. By my own book, I don't mean like I've written a fictional story. No, it's just a book that contains my thoughts, my expressions, my feelings, my memories. Yes. And we shall go through it, this whole thing. Of course, I won't be reading everything. Sometimes I'll read just the title, the other times just a line from the page, something that catches my eye. But because there is a lot of personal stuff in there, and yeah, it just showcases where my mind was at that age and at that time. So I've been meaning to look back on both of my books. I have two. I have this one as well, but that will be a separate video. And yeah, let's see what happened in my life before and what realizations and thoughts I had. First page is just the title page, you know, the memo. For me to understand my thoughts and feelings better. Literally. It's like envisioning, and putting your thoughts into words, visible words, you know. It helps in a way. I do everything and anything in this book. Could be meaningless, could be important. A slight peek into my mind. And I showed a little representation of like, you know, 0.1%. People know, close people to me, know 2% of my mind. I know only 10%. So that means unknown is 87.9%, which is what my book and my constant reflection journey from that point allowed me to experience. Interesting. The first thing I did was I wrote because I've got this actually mid-summer. I wrote at the beginning the expectations I had for that summer, and then how it turned out. I wrote on the 14th of July, so it's like midsummer. So I was already reflecting. It's a good way to put a representation of like what you envisioned yourself doing and going through in like that summer vibe. I have a random pencil doodle of an octopus, a random character, alien species. Due to them being highly evolved, they don't care, they don't have religions. Everyone believes in science since they can explain a lot more than us. And they look like octopuses. I've been looking for this poem for a while, and this may perhaps be the only poem I read to you. There's a lot of poems in this book, and a lot of them are depressing, because that's how I discovered I'm into poetry, through depression and having to put my thoughts into beautifully arranged words. And this is I don't think this is the first poem I ever read, but this is the first poem that shows up in this book. I want to go to the sunset horizon, the constant warm, constant orange, constant me. I want to arrive with the sunrise, bring forth the change, a new beginning, new me. Yeah, just that. Right now I'm in the process of remembering also that poems don't have to be long. They can be short ones as well, and they work brilliantly. As explained by my poem back in summer 2022. Did I do the best I could? Do I hate myself? Oh, that's an interesting page. Biggest slash best decisions I made in my life. That's a good one to follow up after those 2 pages. One of the first one I actually wrote is like a decision that made me trust my sense of just flow in life, was me dropping out of my first university, Loughborough Uni, to change course in the uni itself. Ending up going to Portsmouth Uni. That was one of the first distinctive decision that I had to adjust and change the direction where my life was heading. One of the things on the list as well is starting to smoke weed. We'll be always thankful for weed. That's an interesting one. A very true one, yes. Even back then, when I kind of been smoking only for, let's say, 4 months. Yeah. Very crucial. Maybe half a year at that point. Another poem. Some of these, it's kind of, in a sense, corny, I guess. Cringy looking back at your strong emotions that you put on a page with a pen. Another poem. I'll need to keep count of how many poems are in this book. A new chapter. Was looking for a therapist at one point, but understood there's no need. Talking to people close to you can help so much. I'm planning to definitely do it more and go deeper. As much as I was overthinking everything and being down, I understood how important this stage of my life is. How the mistakes I made don't define me. Yes, regret is there, but also guilt. Guilt is proof you know the wrongs. Proof you view things differently yet not acted upon them. I don't want to be who I was before. I can change. I have to change. Oh no. It's not I have to change. I have changed. Underlined. I have definitely changed a lot in the past 5 years. Even looking back at this time, which was the end of my second year of uni, a lot of processes were being understood and pondered upon. Metaphorical view of my personal development. The last line of this page is, still more gears to go through, and I won't give up, 3 exclamation marks. That's what I compared. Gears moving and how they were rusted up. Music and style change. That was on 20th of August already. Yeah, in like mid-August is when I actually started writing. Mid-July, and then a little break, and then get into writing again mid-August. After going through development in my first breakup, I've realized the change of mind that came with that, and my music taste. And not just changed, but improved. That's a big one. At that point, like, I have never been listening to so many artists, songs and genres before. It was definitely my music boom, reawakening. And I'll talk about how my style of clothing has developed as well in relationship with that as well. Everything is improving, and I love it. A page of the hobbies I wrote down and would want to have / improve on. That was beginning of September. Poetry. It is. Guitar playing. It isn't, but hopefully in the future. Sketching people. I want to get better at that. My friend recently invited me to a live drawing session. It'll be interesting to have that. Reading. I am allowing myself to read more often. Meditating. Cooking. We got a multi-cooker right now. My mum is using it for the first time today. So, and we joked around how now I can finally just easily do some stuff like that I find it nice and interesting to try. Want to learn a sign language. I dabbled for a very, very short amount of time and I didn't like.
Blends, yes, it's more than just a hobby now. Longboarding, fucking love it. Right now I'm riding a cruise board though. The other one broke. Calisthenics. I did have ups and downs with calisthenics. Throughout my life, there are times when I'm really into calisthenics and the time I need a break. But right now I'm using a kettlebell. So that's my workout. And song making. That's in the far future. But that will be one. I just know. A page about preparing myself to meet my ex after a long time of silence. And then me going through how it went. The first line went amazing. It was a very nice reconnection, meetup. Thoughts I shouldn't have. Okay. Let's not read those. Too much. 3 lines under that. Interesting. First rule of my book. Oh, that's a bit cringy. Why do I want to come back? 20th July. Oh. This is why it's important that I mention the dates, because I need to warn that this book is not in chronological order. A lot of them are, but a lot of times I just write wherever and fill up. Like, I'm going through it page by page, but this is not how it happened from start to finish. Keep that in mind. Why do I want to come back? Why I shouldn't come back. Yet. No. We will not come back. Another depressing poem. Less rhymey, but I'll classify that as a poem. My bird is still there, by the way. It shat on me. More regret pages. More deepening. Starting to put meaning into things recently. Like the beautiful sunset on the lowest day. A little snippet in October. I was mentioning that my first relationship, my first girlfriend, was actually my first female friend as well. Like proper after school, because I went into an all-boys school. So 5 years of no talking to girls is interesting. Looking into the year 2000, the year of dragon, because that's when I was born. That was like for 2022. Okay. Funny I didn't check it for 2024, because that was the year of dragon as well. Apparently color white and number 9 are unlucky. White, my favorite color for clothes. And I really enjoy light colors for clothes. And 9 is my favorite number. That's interesting. I don't know if that's specifically for the year of Dragon 2000 or how it affected 2022. What I really liked about the meetup, weed moment. It's truly a medicine and a super plant. I had so many special moments happen to me because of weed. Although most of them are forgotten, I'll start writing certain ones I'll remember for the future. I'm not indestructible. A page about my mum and probably my love towards her. Music again. Back in summer, I used to be really into Kota the Friend. But now Mac Miller is really good. And I wrote down Mac Miller song 2009. I still very much like that song. That was the year I discovered Mac Miller, I guess. A holiday trip. A spontaneous holiday trip to Madrid. Like a week beforehand, I ended up booking it. Good memories. Me trying to remember good memories. Señorita. That's about the song Señorita, the popular one. I wrote how I want there to be the time where I can properly relate to that song and have someone of like, to be able to group, like, flow with that song and the meaning of that song. Exactly like that. Be myself. Madrid. About a person I was seeing at that time. 2 feet. Not specifically 2 feet, the musician 2 feet. and how it sucks that there was a moment where I could have went to like a little cafe spot where he would be playing a bar of sorts, but denied that opportunity. These books, yes, I am planning to have more than one. I just wrote that. Yeah, when I have kids, I want them to go through these books. Some pages will be a pain to reread, but hey, it's like, yeah, just knowing how I was back in this day. More about music. Occasionally I would write the specific moment I am experiencing in that day. When I'm sitting outside on a pier, decided to smoke here. It is a bit chilly, 6:26, and my mum has made chicken soup with hachipuri. I'm gonna eat. Oh, I'm a gonna eat. Jesus. Oh yeah, the page right next to it. This was in 22nd of October 2002. Today is 22nd of October 2000. Accidentally quit, but today is 22nd of October 2025. What? So that's what I was doing back then. And today I was going around, was trying to pick up weed. And also chilled by the river. Also has some time to smoke / by the river. And 6:26. Was that the time I arrived? And my mom is cooking some food as well. It's called plov. A very simple, easy Russian dish. It's with rice. Oh, I really like plov. It's one of my favorites. I just realized what that is. And I'm really looking forward to eating. Damn, both today and during 2022, I was having good food on this day. There you go. But moving on. The next is episode. That's the title. I was mentioning the interesting episodes I saw, my favorite episodes I saw in BoJack Horseman. Yes, and it's BoJack Horseman. The episode is called Fish Out of Water. It's probably one of my favorite episodes in all TV shows I watched. I can confidently say that after I rewatched it for the second time recently. And this song name that is played in this episode is also Sea of Dreams. There you go. More about this book specifically. For the first time in my life, I have an item which means a lot to me, an item I really care about. I know this is just the beginning of how I develop this book about being in the future, about how my life will change. This will be a part of it. Another item I hold dearly to me is my cross. I got a new one for my birthday, but I still keep my other one hanging next to my bed. But yes. Song recommendation. Hey, another song recommendation. She Doesn't Get It by Rick. Whoa. She doesn't get it, doesn't get it at all. 21st year, my reflection upon it. At that point of the time, I said how my 21st year was probably my best year. I mentioned in this about how it contained my best moments and my worst moments, and that's why I still consider it my best year. And a song recommendation under it is That's On Me by Mac Miller. So far, if I was to choose which year to relive, it would be this one. Interesting. Probably for me now, it would be this one. Yes. That's something to deep on. And for me to put. I forgot about my tea. Look how dark and reddish it is. You can't really see. But wait. Let me wipe this shit off my hands. Okay, something fell, but it's not that deep. Let me show you the tea pouring content. Okay, this kettle holds exactly 1 full cup of this. That's good to know. Apparently it's meant to be like 550 milliliters. I doubt that is 550. He's back. Do you want to smell it? Smells nice. But it's hot, don't drink it. I hope he likes the smell. I was giving him to smell the 2 different strains I got. He didn't really like those. It's hot enough to be hot and sippable. That's the perfect time. I waited a perfect amount of time because it has so much taste and I love it. Sorry. Yes, moving on. My next years. Honestly, I don't see myself getting into a relationship in minimum 3 to 4 years. Don't think so far I'll be able to get attached to someone like him. I don't think I'll be able to get attached to someone like I did to my first girlfriend. If it does happen, that person must mean so much to me to make that decision. It did happen. As much as I tried for it not to, and I was prolonging it and making it exclusive instead of a proper relationship, still in the end happened. And what happened? The end. And a song under that is Woods by Mac Miller. That's a good recommendation. Another page where I explain one episode. Drum rolls. It's another BoJack Horseman episode. And this one is called Free Churro. This is also one of my favorite episodes ever. Made me feel sorry for the main character. Rewatching it made me tear up. And yeah, funnily enough, fun fact, I consider one of the best TV show episodes to be one of them, to be from BoJack Horseman, the ones I mentioned here. And the funny thing is that they are complete opposites of each other, literally. One of them is going through a magical underwater world and exploring the life that happens there without anyone practically speaking. And the Free Churro is literally a 20-minute monologue of the characters standing in a single room without any changing scenes, basically. That's insane, and I find it quite hilarious that I liked the 5th and the 95th percentile of this measure. November 8th. One of the greatest achievements for me this year would be crying. True. I rediscovered the ability to cry during that year, and I did that quite a lot. And it meant a lot for me to accept the feelings and allow them to exit rather than pushing it away. 11th of the 11th. More about how on occasions I still think of my ex. I was going through. Breakups are tough for me, even if I am the reason for the breakup, and I'm the reason for a lot of bad things happening in a breakup, at least in my previous ones. And they still hit me hard. That's a conversation for a therapist. And a song's recommendation in this is Cigarettes After Sex, Sunsets. The next page is about how my mom had a talk to me about how she's worried that I am addicted to weed, well, at the beginning of that road, which wasn't the case. It was a journey to better my relationship with weed and understand how I want to intake it, make it into an experience, an enjoyable one which doesn't affect my mind in the worst way. Understand which way benefits me when I take this substance. I feel like this moment right now late autumn, cold wind, foggy by the river. 22-year-old me, I'll be remembering it and reminiscing it, even though there's nothing too special about it. And I can picture it because I still live nearby the river, so I can imagine the kind of feeling it was. Not as vividly. I imagine it will be even less in the future when I'll be rereading this. But song suggestion on this recommendation is Rum Rage by Sticky Fingers. Loved that song. Haven't heard it in a while, but I loved that song. This is the first time I have a page mentioning my partner of a second relationship, and just saying how we have gotten close. We have been meeting weekly for like 2 months. Another depressing poem. I might actually read this one because it doesn't put any specifics, but you may wipe, it's a depressing, I warn you. You may wipe the tears, clean up the blood, stitch up the wounds, but the scars will still remain. Even if you change them and improve, don't expect other people to be able to forgive and move on. The pain can be too powerful, irreversible. Only upon finishing that, I have realized it's not really a poem, but no, I put it more as a quote that I said. Literally. Moving on. Oh, a more bittersweet poem. This is a short one. It was amazing. We worked out because we were very similar. It crumbled. We broke up because we were too different. What do you think? What? There's an empty page. I didn't think I had left any out. Hence, I was like, it's not chronological because I was going back and forth to like fill up anything anywhere. One of my favorite songs, 31st of January. Here's your chance, love her. Oh, that's a line from that song. Oh, one of my favorite song lyrics, I see. I didn't mention which song it is from. It's from Odi. I will put it in a video, but I can't remember right now. But yeah, damn, there's a blank page. I might do something on this blank page because this is the time where I'm recording myself going through it in the far future. 3 years after I write this. And I'll mention that I have recorded it and there's a video out there somewhere of me going through this. I will happily do this on camera. I will probably put music in the background. Lo-fi would have been very cool to listen to. Will I put it in the background of here or will that get in the way? Because it will lessen the need for me to edit in songs later. Don't eat my book. Don't eat my book. Yo, mister. Oops. My bad. Mister. Don't eat my book. Don't eat. Wait. 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 What an annoying child. What an annoying child. He's scared of a little soft tissue paper? I do want lo-fi. Okay, we're back. The page is written about me remembering, either cringing out or remembering the young wisdom. And I had some yogurt. My food is nearly ready. Music playing. It shouldn't be too loud. It's more like for my sake. I don't know how much the recording will capture that. My tea is still here. And before I shall start, let me get a candle going. Make it more cozy. I like that. My monitor screen has woken up, unfortunately. So that's... Should I put glasses on? To be more presentable. Ah, see? It doesn't work really. It will just get in the way. I shall not. I'm thinking of thinking. Okay, be moving on. Smoking plants and herbs. I noted down the time where my growth of interest for this grew drastically recently, so I ended up buying a few. We'll see how they feel. And from that, the rest is history. Me stating how each herb makes me feel, because I was smoking them specifically by themselves. Lavender, mugwort, wild dagger, raspberry leaf, skullcap, damian leaf, mullein, blue lotus. And a lot of them I still use right now to be making the blends. And the term "do opposites attract," I said, is neither right or wrong. Now there's a jump from 1st of January to 3rd of October 2023. There was a big jump there. 10 months. 9 months. 9-month jump about. And the page reads, "It's been a while since I've been writing in this book." That's the year I've spent my placement year in London. And instead of placement, it was just more of a gap year and me working. That's the time I got my first job. How gap year went? Oh yeah, because I'm back in uni at this point. Or soon to be. Somehow ended up spending all the money I earned. And more. It was all worth it, honestly. Interesting. That was my point of view. Mickey and the Frogs by Hotel Ugly. I mentioned the specific part of the song that I really loved. The second verse, the way it's delivered. A page dedicated to milk. Fucking love milk. It's so great, it's so amazing. People are sometimes weirded out whenever I mention that I really love milk and I drink milk as is. It shouldn't be that weird. Milk is amazing, okay? Accept it. The second, perhaps, page where I meant, this is, yeah, after a while now, and me and my second partner have been together for a while, and I'm mentioning how I'll have to make an important decision whether I would want to be in a relationship with her or not. Tough times. 2 pages about my name. Because fun fact, I have 2 names that I go by. I do not really mention my names on these videos, and I wouldn't. But yes, I have my first name and my middle name, which I started using because it's cool. I like the name and I'm glad I started using it. Wasted money because I'm clumsy or breaking or losing stuff. Lost my Pixel Buds once, then the second time. Broke my phone screen, broke the longboard. Broke some glass door when I was younger. I remember that was a tough time for my mum. The next page, I definitely want to be riding a motorbike in the future. Let's still get into that future soon enough. Soon enough. My wisdom. It's okay to make mistakes, but don't let them define you. Grow from them, learn from them. Become the better version of yourself. I realized how I am a feminine person in general. To an extent. That's because I have a lot of women, even like in my family, that meant a lot to me and I looked up to, I guess. Good little snack. Ham plus cheddar slice plus Tabasco. You don't need anything else, but add a cracker on that. Also crackers and peanut butter plus banana. Last one, surprisingly, Greek yogurt. Because, yeah, ever since that point, this year and a few months ago, I learned how to make yogurt at home. Because I love yogurt, especially Greek yogurt. Company of my dear person. A type of time. Oh, about a day where all my housemates went on holidays and I had the place to myself. Oh, I sneakily mentioned a song suggestion. Lauren, as I started writing this, Lauren by Men I Trust comes on. So it's definitely a good feeling right now. That's beautiful because that's incredible because I'm going to see Men I Trust tomorrow and I really hope they play Lauren. They have to play Lauren. It's such a vibey song, bro. I want to dance to Lauren live. This is the song that made me understand how much I fuck with Men I Trust and their type of music. Another page where the title is 2009 by Mac Miller. I mentioned it twice. Can't wait for my life to finally change to be more like the song. I will note down a point in the time when that is the case. Nothing is written down, but I doubt that right now that's the case. You'll be sad if it turns out to be more like Malibu 1992 by Coin. Such a nice song. It's an unfortunate song as well. A nice, beautiful. I often choose to marinate the experience, let the possibility of a greater effect to happen to me. If I really like a new song, I won't be constantly putting it on. So in times it does play, it'll be one hell of a time. Yeah, I enjoy giving space and time to certain things so that I have an opportunity in the future to enjoy it way more. I think ahead of time and the pleasure that we'll get from an action. I feel like I really do want freedom right now. In that time, I really fucking wanted freedom. Is living in a moment a selfish thing to do? A selfish decision like that is a selfless act in itself. Today's the 31st, but doesn't feel like New Year's. Doesn't feel right, as if didn't accomplish enough in this year. Not satisfied with myself, not exactly a festive feeling. Too many mistakes blocking the path. Entering the New Year's with a fresh mind, sorted out the main struggle, entered a relationship, made that step. That won't be holding me back anymore. Don't get drunk on New Year's, feeling good the next day. Starting off well. Not a lot, but did some writing work. Let's get this year started. Myself sorted. Best believe 2024 was going to be even more of a struggle. Wait. Wait, that wasn't even that long ago. Am I thinking of the right year? 31st. Okay. No, this is 2023. This is 2023, not 2024. Okay, that's different. Still struggling, but I did make drastic steps on sorting myself out, especially considering the education. I definitely improved that. And there were only 2 deadline assignments, the last 2 that I had, where I had to stay up all night doing them. And I'm very proud to admit and say that. Actually, no, one at the beginning, but that's because it was a group one and I was the only one doing work for the 3 people. Fuck you know. Something to learn new in 2024. Oh no, this is about, yeah. So I was right with the initial statement. Learn new in 2024. Yes, this is a 12 list thing, which is connected with that calendar right there, because I decided to do a little challenge of sorts of every month stating exactly the kind of aim or challenge I put on myself. Something I will learn, one new thing every month, or have an aim. Yeah, first month was a handstand. I did not manage to learn, and instead, since it was like the first thing and I kind of failed at it, I decided to make it for the entire year, and I still didn't learn it. Just shows like the very first thing didn't stop me continuing doing this sort of thing, you know. No games on phone and PC. That's yeah, because at the time it's all about focus, and I understood that games on the phone are super distracted, and I'm not even playing that many games on the computer anymore. The only game I play is chess right now. Not buying any. As I'm going down, this is like a new month. So January was Handstand, February no games on the phone and PC. January, February, March is not buying any snacks. Clearly, I was tackling my sugar intake and addiction. I have a sweet tooth, and actually this month in October I am also tackling the same problem. I said no to sugar and reducing, like not taking any snacks. Natural sugars from fruit is the only one. 3 hours a day in uni, that was the aim. For April. May is no weed, try microdosing for every day, morning or evening. Including, it was like microdosing, and run every day, morning or evening, 2 kilometers or 5 kilometer run. Morning 2 kilometer run or evening 5 kilometer run. And yeah, those were the 2 aims I guess I had. And if that's the time I was microdosing, that means that was my final deadline month, where I stopped smoking and stopped drinking and did the microdosing period. And it was quite incredible, actually. I learned a lot through that month, and the fact, just the ability to which my mind is able to function and work. Yeah, it was cool. June, practice longboard. I spent a lot of time on some roof, car park roof, out in the sun, just vibing and enjoying a longboard. July, follow the writings. Interesting. I think I had a selection of specific aims to finish in that month of sorts, and that's why I said follow the writings. It will all probably be said in that calendar right there. I've written them more in detail at the top as the title of the month of sorts. But all this, I am planning to make a specific video about that and go in depth. August was calisthenics routine, workout groove. I was proper trying to get into it, you know. September, Blendy, 1 job application a day. I think focus was developing more Blendy designs during then. October, 70 kg aim plus half marathon aim. The half marathon one was a spontaneous one. I ended up deciding to do like one of the last days, but yeah, I was really getting into running, and I decided to like, fuck it, I'll push myself to spontaneously run that. And then February, working out with dumbbell. I kind of actually didn't do much of that, and it's only now recently, for the past 2 months, that I've been proper enjoying it and getting into it. And then last aim, again, it was handstand, which I was like, fuck it, I'll put even more effort into learning it, and I didn't. And then there was another running aim for that month. 5 kilometer runs in a row, in addition to 10 kilometer runs in a row, which followed up after. Safe to say I managed to do that, yes, but it did come with a consequence. But that's something I'll get to later. Okay, there's practically another half left. I thought I was going through that fast, but there's another half left. And it marks the point, well, New Year's, beginning of 2024. These 2 pages. And the second page is me mentioning how, wow, I got a girlfriend now. And a little note from her specifically. I won't read it now because the last time I read it, it gave me a tear. It teared up my eyes. But yeah, I found it sweet because the last time I read it was we were having a very low time. Lovely. I'll have a break and carry on this after I've eaten food. I really need it. My mind is a bit dizzy. not sure if I should do this in a 2-part. But I knew this will take a while. I just underestimated how long that while will take. There's a whole other half of the book left. I had a little refresher. Different vibes right now. Different writing. And let's see what other cool shit is in this book. We'll keep on going. How to not feel hungry when you smoke is to imagine an empty stomach as a void. Empty void is nothing. No end to the food covering it. But if it's nothing, so is the hunger feeling. Hunger feeling is nothing. You don't feel it since it's the void. There you go. It's all in the mind and how you perceive it. Next page is me realizing how I enjoy the desolate, empty streets of my city back in Latvia during the night. An interesting gift to my parents, spending time with my family. Life tends to feel slow and repetitive when I fall into a routine. I need to keep mixing things up. They are not good for me. They don't let my mind explore and be free. Kind of true, I guess. Kind of true. My travels. I traveled to Madrid. I traveled to Milan by myself without knowing anyone there. And then I came to Amsterdam with my partner. And then later I decided to see my family in Latvia. After which, in summer, I was invited with a group of friends to La Mata. So yeah, fair bit of traveling. I do enjoy it. Oh, it keeps on going. And to finish it off with a bang, had an amazing holiday in Barcelona with my partner. And then later on that year in 2024, I have went to a Malaysia trip. So there you go. My love for the bass guitar has been growing a lot this year. Once I realized that I super vibe with the bass guitar, it started identifying it in songs way more often and just vibing to it. I don't know what kind of lighting is better. I don't think it does me any justice. Like that. Notes. Now me mentioning how I have a lot of notes in my phone about lists and things, and that's something I want to be making a video about as well, about specific lists I have on my phone and just going through them. There's a lot of information there. Me talking about long distance. Request of things I want from my partner. Videos. For like a year and a half I've been creating videos where I just talk to myself. That's how all this started. For like 2 years I have been making videos. 2.5 years I've been recording videos just for myself. And they're like personal, and then maybe my family in the future will see them. And later on, occasionally, a year later, I have made some videos for my partner. But yeah, and then boom, YouTube came at the beginning of this year. When I am by myself and listening to music, that's when I feel most comfortable in dancing and singing. Impulse. About me acting up on my impulsivity. And identifying the triggers of where I want the action to happen rather than taking a long pause and allowing that once to disappear. Alcohol and weed. I like both. But of course, as I starting to smoke, I've been preferring weed. I would say that both of these have an equal chance of me not doing later on in life. Alcohol more so. At that time, I didn't expect that I will say no to alcohol like this, how I did. Lyrics to a song called Paul by Still Woozy and Remy Wolf. I don't really know where my head's at, I just know my heart's not there yet. Damn. It's a reflection of how I was feeling in my relationship. I realized that I get quite a bit frustrated when unreasonable time is wasted. I get annoyed with that. Like today I had to wait basically an extra hour for my dealer to arrive. A bit of a piss take. The Backseat Lovers, Viciously Lonely. It's a song that has said I love you to my partner for the first time. So it held quite a bit of meaning. Another song recommendation, Country by Rakoma. I want to learn Jamaican accent. There's a specific name for it, but yes. Growing up, I thought I was an honest kid, and I probably was, but for some reason started to lie more and more, because I didn't want to face the consequences of my actions. I was scared of them. What a coward. In one way or another, that is a sign of cowardness. A guilty pleasure song, Mind Freak by Once Upon the End by Mind Freak. I love seeing how much more comfortable I have become with dancing. It's a very true fact. Ever since taking dancing lessons in salsa, the general confidence of just knowing that I can express myself through movement is ever so satisfying. Mr. Bad by OK Will. And another song right under it, a recommendation, Neighbor by OK Will. I was really digging him during that time. A checklist for preparation to my trip to Malaysia. About the books and audiobooks I have been listening to. It was a Norwegian Wood and audiobook of 12 Rules of Life by I forgot his name, JB Pierce. Another reminder to write in this book, a role model. Me talking about role models. I don't have many except my family, actually, my mum specifically. And I looked up to my uncle about it because I thought he was cool and I generally enjoyed the energy that he represented. Time 222. I think that's when I started putting intention into identifying that time. I started to make a wish whenever I see it randomly. If I see it like 5 minutes before and understand that it's soon, it doesn't work that way. It has to be random on occasion. Like, oh, it's that time. Talking about crypto. Improving as a boyfriend in my relationship. And an extensive list about Rainbow Kitten Surprise, Workout. That's another song recommendation. Remembering the morning of 23rd of March 2024 after a house party last night. And I found my unfinished zoo, decided to wake and bake. Oh, what a time. Scary how I probably won't have these moments in the future, and I'll be remembering back to the uni days, knowing how good of a time it was overall. Right now I'm okay with not being in the uni. I'm not having that nostalgic remembrance currently. Me mentioning how my ADHD riddled friend thinks that I also have ADHD. That was a nice clarification because I thought that too. Me talking about shuffle play and how that's my favourite way of listening to music in general. And a song from my first phase of taste came up. Mansion by NF. Decided to give it the last listen before I removed it from my like songs because it's like old one, you know. Another page of remembrance of a sunny day of spring in Portsmouth. The song recommendation for this day was Don't Make Me Fall in Love by Coco. And I think those two were like right back to back to each other, these two songs. Betting, a page on how much I lost on gambling. It all started from CSGO. Yeah. And then football, whenever it's like World Cup, that's how I make myself enjoy even watching it if I have money on it. Can't lie. a bit of a pointless one. I tried like horse racing. That was like 25 quid lost. UFC here and there I was betting. And poker. Yeah. Bob Marley. I keep meaning to like proper have a listening session to Bob Marley and add those songs to my Spotify, and I haven't done that yet. I keep thinking that the time hasn't come. Perhaps next summer, that'll be the time, or spring, that'll be the time. We are in mid-April right now, by the way, of 2024. Me mentioning about the aims of microdosing and stopping weed, and saying how I have been slacking. I need to fix up. A message from my partner. There was a little jump from April to June, mainly because I guess it was the deadline stage of my uni life. Me mentioning how I haven't done it in a while. And yeah, so on 16th of June was meant to be mine and my partner's anniversary. We didn't end up spending it together. Just reflecting on how the relationship, how I've been acting in relationships and how they have affected me and affected others. Digging up the same holes I've been putting in so much effort into covering up. Even though I couldn't spend the anniversary with my ex at that time, we still decided to go to a holiday together to Portugal, Lisbon. That was an interesting decision. I didn't mind it. Me talking about how it sucks that my middle name that I started using and people knew me by already within 1 or 2 years maintained bad feelings and memories associated with it. I do get quite a lot of compliments for it. So much has been forgotten. So many things I don't remember thinking and imagining. That's one of the main reasons why I started journaling and putting my thoughts down, because there's no way I could look back and understand myself as vividly and clearly as I do now through reading this book. You know, it's a definite reminder of what it was like back then. The way I enjoy eating food is by filling my mouth up fully. Very true indeed. Talking about food, let's move on to tea and liquid. That's not ideal. It's hot tea. How do I get it out? I'll use mine. Okay, that's done. Okay. Not much left. We're nearly there. And talking about food and enjoyment, I really love the crunch of food. I love crunchy, more crunchy than crispy. Crunchy. It made my mouth itchy. Itching for it. I don't have a type for women, I have realized. My preference is that I'm attracted to femininity in general. And because of that, I don't have a type. This is 27th of June now. A page about stating how I hate smoking weed with Becky. And I'm glad to say that I haven't smoked a joint with Becky in it for a long time. If I'm offered that, I just say no because I prefer Blendy. That's much better. Remembrance of how when I was younger, I was watching anime in quite a lot actually. And remembering how it all started from Naruto with me and my brother. And I did a little list defining some of the animes that I really liked. And then they all have description in it. I'll go through a few. Naruto, Mob Psycho 100, Samurai Champloo, Afro Samurai, Daily Lives of High School Boys, Prison School, Attack on Titan, Death Parade, Hunter x Hunter, Devilman Crybaby, Promised Neverland Season 1, Vinland Saga, Erased, Chainsaw Man, Ghibli movies like Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, Castle in the Sky, Silent Voice, Your Name. That's some of the selection. I wonder how long this video will take me to edit. I'm dreading it. A page about how I've gotten more confident in socializing. And once again, it's that amazing temperature to drink tea. I put mint tea in there, but apparently it has green tea as well. So I might have a sudden caffeine rush. Remembrance of a day when the sun is proper out at the end of June. 19 degrees, the sun relaxing on a terrace balcony after a house party. Not hangover, and it's feeling really nice right now. Tanning, a slight breeze cooling me down. Oh, what a life. I had this weird thought about how the probability of imitating the Chinese language and getting the pronunciation of specific words correctly is higher than any other language. Because that language is based on the tone you use. You can say gibberish in a way that some words would be right, if you get what I mean. Me defining my uni accommodation throughout each of the years, 4 different accommodations. My first year in Loughborough was the worst. Actually, first year in Portsmouth was the worst because it was private accommodation. And then first year of Loughborough. The second year of Portsmouth was my favourite house and living area. And then the third year of Portsmouth was pretty decent as well. At first I heavily disliked the house, but it grew on me. And then I ended up mentioning my first nights of each year because they are quite specific and interesting ones. Another guilty pleasure song suggestion. Fuck It, I'm the Man by Seb. Me talking about drinking and how I really don't like it when I'm drunk. That's very true. Very true. I really don't. And I was allowing me to reach the realization that I would want to stop with alcohol. The way I am, behave and act, what I say, what I do. There's quite a few instances now where I feel pathetic after. And if advice makes you feel that way after taking it, or during it even, why take it? People have so many terrible experiences with alcohol. Why take it? There's better vices out there. There's drugs. I am really looking forward to the time in the future where I don't drink. I am living that future right now, if even for a year, but I can definitely understand for myself that my relationship with alcohol has changed. Last note. It's quite cool that I actually finished this book. Yeah, this lasted 2 years, this book, to finish. And my next book took me 1 year. No, wait, 6 months. This took me 2 years, and my next book took 6 months to finish. So I definitely improved in the writing aspect. The final day weather, me explaining the final day of me writing in this book. After a week of going out every night, smoking and drinking, it's time to relax and put yourself together. Wake up 9:30, actually have good breakfast, read, clean up, do your own chores. There's actual plans for the day. Hottest day in a while, 29 degrees, very sunny, feels good. Smoked and chilled at the terrace, worked out here too. We'll be going beach in a bit, might shower. Oh, what a day. 30th of July, 2024. Me mentioning how I've always been surrounded by strong women in my life, from within my family and my partners and friends. Take inspiration from them. There's a lot to learn. And now finally, the very last page. If something happens to me, I want my close people to know me through those pages. A lot of emotional BS here, but oh well. To show my thoughts and stuff and deep thinking, understand more of me. And I signed it. Well, there's that. It's good timing because I'm getting notifications that my storage is filling up again. That took a while. Much longer than I anticipated. But it's done. It's something I've been meaning to do and it's finally out of the way. The next book will take much quicker to read, but we'll leave that for another day when I'm ready. I'm looking forward to be doing more videos like these, of just putting down my life within a video and posting it, because just more of me to remember for other people. Thank you for watching. I am quite tired. I hope you have a good night.